All right. I am back live, guys. I'm back live. So we're gonna have a discussion about reparations because I can see that was a hot button issue. That was a hot topic that got some people uh got some people shook, huh? Tell you, man, some people got real upset with my discussion about reparations. Some people didn't like that, man. I can see some people didn't care for that. But we're gonna have a discussion anyways. Reparations. Why do you think I support reparations? Well, why do I? Well, it's simple. It's simple. I support reparations because the fact is we should receive payment for our labor. And by our, I mean foundational Black Americans. Now, if you don't feel the same way that I feel, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that, but that doesn't change the facts. That doesn't change the fact that America needs to pay what they owe. JJP Mojo Jojo says, what's good, family? Did that lady get banned? Yeah, live ban, unfortunately. You know why reparations will never happen. I think that it will. I think that that it's heading towards that direction because you're seeing the reason why I think it's heading towards that direction. It's mainly because I'm seeing now that people are having discussions about well how come this side isn't included or that side. People are having that kind of discussion right now, and people are seriously trying to go against it as hard as they can. Right. So right now you're having people out there who are just upset at the very notion that we would ask for reparations. And that's unfortunate because there's not really a discussion to be had. It's going to happen. People saying, oh, no, it's not going to happen. It's going to happen. Let me ask, are you better off than your grandparents? It depends on what you mean. Better off overall or better off in what area? It's kind of a pretty open question, you know. I just want to make sure I answer it like accurately. That's all. That's the only reason why I want just a clarification. That's all. Chris Scully, I think. Chris Scully 83, I think. Just want to answer the question. So you can ask me questions about reparations and where's this going. Reparations. I think he's trying to ask a question. I'm not sure. Then you got more opportunities and freedom to grow as a Black man. That doesn't mean we don't deserve reparations for what happened. If you can't answer that, then you are not being honest. I don't know what you mean. I explained in detail what I meant. You were here last time, Gary McBee. Bartelong, we're not discussing that. Are you better off? In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. Yes. Does that prove a point? Because if you say that's the reason why we don't deserve reparations, I'm going to respond very, very negatively to that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. You know that's a bad argument. You know what's better reparations? Gearing the debt slavery off the central. Times are changing. That's irrelevant. You have not made an argument yet. I discuss facts, dates. You're back, bro. Yes, I am. What are we not doing? Sorry, I just showing. I don't want to. I don't want. I don't want people to look for cheap arguments out of reparations. Have an honest discussion, please. I'm trying to have an honest discussion. Now, if you don't want to, now if you want it to turn sideways, it can turn sideways. But don't look for cheap little ways out. Please don't do that. All right, I have more respect for you if you just have an honest discussion. Bro, your reparations are your being tax credit, make it easy for you to get a job over. That's not affirmative action is mostly used by white women. Why do we need? Why do we need it? Um, I don't know why you need it. You're not a foundational Black American. I know why my community needs it. Yes, and yes, we will get trillions. So, um, check out the. You say as you're wearing Oakley glasses. What's your point? Like, what kind of counterpoint is that? What kind of a counterpoint is that? What kind of a, how much should y'all get? I'll say the overall cost should start at 15 trillion. We can work our way down from there. Now, individually, I think it should definitely be varied based off of certain conditions. However, overall, what I'm talking about is maybe less than half of the Black community. Actually, you obviously make decent money. Why do you need reparations? Because of the damage that's already been done to the Black community overall, and that's still being done. By the way, there's Black people who are still alive from the civil rights era, sir. How do you think their children grew up? And as a result, how do you think their children grew up? You don't think that think that generational bad starts are an actual thing? You don't think so? You don't think so? Because if you don't think so, then I just see Nathan. When you say stuff like that, that's really unfortunate because I want to have a constructive conversation. But if you're coming hot like that, then unfortunately we can't have a conversation. Who all should be eligible? Okay, so who all should be eligible? Um, what about the Irish? Okay, all right, all right, all right. You mentioned that I can't. You got to have honest conversations, guys. Hear them out if you need. Oh yes, thank God. Jeez. Oh, give me a second. Let me. Oh God. Oh God. That was that was painful. That was painful. Painful. All right, that's painful. Painful. If you mention the Irish, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you mention the Irish here, I'm sorry. I can't. I just can't. All right, we're talking about reparations. All right, reparations. Reparations for slavery. Now, the reason why I say slavery because I started off there. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to allow people to argue with me, right? And then they're going to say, well, slavery's over. And I'm going to mention civil rights era. It's like, well, that was a long time ago. And I'm going to mention that people were still alive from that era. They're going to say, well, what about the redlining? I'm going to allow them to say so much stuff to the point where you couldn't take their argument seriously, even if you tried.
Irish? Really?
Yes, my my.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Hold on, wait. Be careful. Don't get me banned. Don't get me banned. Okay, yeah. So please let's. That's my soon to be wife in the background. She's upset because
I'm Irish. That's stupid.
That is amazing. Listen, I have nothing against the Irish. I love the Irish people. The Irish people are awesome. Um, but um, do you want to entertain this or should I go for it? Um,
Really?
who all should be eligible? So who should be eligible are foundational Black Americans. Foundational Black Americans are people who are direct descendants of slaves who happen to be Black people. That does not include people who are not Black. See, the reason why we pick the term foundational Black Americans is
And it
because
excludes recent Black people
yep,
who are not
yep,
descended from slaves.
yeah, right. So
What's
it's not discriminatory. It's set up a lineage.
Yeah, it's factual.
What's up?
Hello.
You get to see my tiles. Aren't they pretty?
They
Aren't
are
they
pretty.
cute? Actually, I'm about to rip all this shit out. I think this is like from the 60s. Or not the 60s, but the 70s.
Hmm. Yeah,
Anyways,
I'm sorry about what happened. I don't know what happened there. That was
it's
wild.
just it
Um,
was just guest live, and that's what I do usually a lot. It's not that big a deal. I'm about to go fucking to Ukraine myself. It's not that big a deal. I'm not fucking worried about it. It's not. Fuck this app.
oh, wow.
And
Someone
it's
asked,
not me.
do you think Kamala Harris should have to pay reparations as well? Yeah.
Wait, her family hasn't been here that long, have they?
I'm not. I think I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I will say this. I will say this. I think that people who argue against reparations all the time, I think that they just look for anything to poke. Anything to poke. It is so amazing because whenever you defeat the point, right, they just move on to like another point, or is when they anchor down on a point that's actually a bad one, they will stick to it, man. Like I'm sitting there discussing with this guy. I'm like, listen. You saying that you had nothing to do with it is not a good argument because I had nothing to do with any stuff that's happening around the world right now that we're paying billions for. I had nothing to do
Right.
with that, but I'm still paying for that. Now now you could say, well, I don't agree with that either. That is irrelevant because it doesn't matter if you agree with it or not. It's
It's
happening.
still happening.
See, this is how I know
I'm
that a
making
lot of
I'm
people
making
could
the
not
choice.
survive what we went through, right?
Right.
Because we are so used to being acted upon. And now when people are being acted upon, they're acting like they are victims. Go ahead. Sorry.
Why I want to go over there is because I'm trying to predict, you know, Russia's got 3 nuclear plants. The historical relevance of Ukraine is that they produce a lot of fucking wheat. They produce a lot of wheat and they ship it to other countries. If there's nuclear fallout, that nuclear fallout goes all the way across Russia, all the way across to Alaska, into Canada, into West Coast, into a lot of places that a lot of people would be affected. That's the only reason I want to go is because I want to prevent shit like that. And that's my own duty. That's my own thing.
Yeah.
I can't sit there and involve anybody else in that unless they say, "Hey, I support you." I'd be like, "All right, cool. This is how you can do that." You know what I mean? It's my struggle, and I've chosen to put it on. That's all.
Um so okay. So
But
there
for
was
your
somebody. Go ahead.
like what you were saying earlier, I was like, start high, and then you know, whatever you feel comfortable settling at, go from there. That was my only point. And then I got kicked
Right.
off from being a guest live
Wow, that's messed up. But
for harassment and bullying.
wow. I don't know what for. That's unfortunate. That's really silly. I don't know why. That's because I thought
Because I acknowledge
we were being
Africans
pretty nice.
should actually. I think I know what it was, and I'll message you, and you're gonna laugh because once I point it out, you're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, they got offended. They got offended."
Uh oh, that's unfortunate. That's
But
unfortunate.
anyways,
You
I'm gonna
know,
hop off. I just want to tell you good night and
good
finish.
night.
Whatever. Love you.
Well, be safe, all
Good luck.
right? Be safe in whatever
I
you
will
do.
be.
Please be safe and please come back. All right? Please?
Always do.
All right.
All right.
See you later. Yeah, that's Chandelia. All right, so I got a few questions here. Got a few questions. Just I didn't agree. Just asking your question. We just got randomly tapped in a few months. Yeah. Or the white Irish slaves. Oh man, I'm very interested in this. I'm very interested in this narrative. Brown girl on the bus. Hey brother, how you doing? How you doing, big sis? How you doing, big sis? How you doing? All love for you. All love for you. Charles J 420. How you doing? Reckoning Q says doesn't have anything to do with cars are. Yeah. I'm good. Yes. So we're having discussions about reparations. The reason why the Foundation of Black Americans should be getting it. Should have already gotten it. So we should have already gotten it because it repairs damage that's been done throughout generations. See, unfortunately, some people don't seem to understand the concept behind generational damage. Oh, I'm doing great, Charles J. Thank you for asking. People don't understand the concept behind generational damage. Like for example, when you look at certain neighborhoods in West Virginia and you see some of the poverty there, what you're going to see is poverty, but you're going to see it on the white side, and unfortunately, it that didn't come because they were targeted because they were white. It came because of other factors. So with that being said, if you understand there was generational poverty there that wasn't even caused by their skin color, what do you think happens to the people whereas poverty was induced on them due to their skin color, and as a result on that, not we just established there are people in West Virginia who have been in poverty for generations, right? We just established this. So you understand that poverty throughout generations can be a thing that can happen. So when you have a whole federal government that has redlined people out of neighborhoods, that has targeted people systemically, that has blocked people out of the best educational institutions, and have blocked people out of financial institutions, whereas private banks and even the government has refused to even give loans. Why do we even get affirmative action? You know, everybody mentions affirmative action. What was happening before then? How come you won't answer that question? Because the problem with that question is, then there's going to come, okay, so then what was the social conditions after affirmative action? Was there suddenly equality? Was all the racist stuff that was happening to black people, had that suddenly ceased? No? Okay, so then how long was that shit going on? So that it's a continuing chain. That's what you have to acknowledge. You have to acknowledge it's a continuous chain. There are people out there who were born in financial situations that we know is not their fault. You go over to certain countries like freaking Ethiopia, people that are born into poverty, that is not their fault. It was generational. You didn't do anything to deserve that. So my thing is that people have to take the time to realize that harm was done. And if you call yourself a libertarian, you call yourself a person who is freedom loving, you love liberty and justice for all, that you would leap at the opportunity to repair damage done. Because if you call yourself a certain libertarian, you believe in a non-aggression principle. And a non-aggression principle states that you do not do harm in no way. You do not do harm. And if you do harm, you fix it. Right? Why do people who didn't cause harm have to take time out for it? Jack Red 889 asks. That's a good question. Good question. Because when there's damage done and you have a country that has profited off of that damage, you have to compensate the people where the damage was done. Because it's about a starting point, right? You understand that black people would definitely have a lot more wealth had we been compensated immediately after the harm was done. We understand that. So if you understand that, that means that the poverty level and the starting position that we're in right now is unfair. And if you believe in the non-aggression principle, or the principle of not doing harm, and when you do harm, you fix it as best as possible, that you should be leaping at the chance to fix the damage. We don't want any programs. We don't want education benefits. We want cash. You want to know why? Because affirmative action was meant for black people too. And what happened? The primary beneficiaries is not black people right now. We've known that for quite some time. With that being said, you have to understand that our rejection of a tax-free status or reservation or education benefits, the reason why we reject all that stuff is because America does not have a track record of honoring its promises. Right? So we're treating America much like a creditor is going to treat you if your credit score is too low. We ain't going to give you credit. We want cash. Because America is a country in freaking debt. So you got a track record of not paying your freaking debts. America is a country where Native Americans have to sue you, every other day, right? America's a country who does not honor debts, who does not honor promises. The only time you honor promises is when promises are made to certain people with a certain pigment. I'm just going to say a certain hue. Like certain countries. I'm just going to say that. That's the only time you honor debts. All right. So I'm pretty sure if you go talk to a Native American, they will tell you, do not trust America with debts. Take cash up front. Jack Red 89 says, why are the grandchildren of the wrongdoers responsible? Simple. Why in the world do I have to keep paying money for things that I had nothing to freaking do with? Because that's called reality. You live in a freaking society. Yeah, I understand. It's a doggone meme, but it is actually a true meme. You live in a freaking society. So how much money do you want? Genuine question. I think we should start off overall with the cost being 15 trillion and work our way down from there. Now understand something. When I say that cost, I'm saying that it's only going to be less than half of the actual community, because it's only going to be foundational Black Americans. So actually 15 trillion sounds like a lot, but I mean for that over time. Doesn't have to be a lump sum. Just 15 trillion allocated. See, people fight that, right? And don't realize 15 trillion, you can pay for that in like 20 years in freaking America. Yeah. And it's not even the Black community. It's not even, the whole Black community. It's actually less than half of it. So that's why I say foundational Black Americans, because those are the people who are direct descendants of slavery. So that actually makes it cheaper. 15 trillion over 20 years is actually very cheap for America. So people are fighting it and don't even realize it's actually a lot more attainable than what you probably thinking about. Because we generate like 8-9 trillion every year. So I'm 75. I never got any repercussions, and I don't know. I know I know that we did, but I never got anything. Well, I would suggest that you go ahead and get it, man. Man, get your paper, brother. I love you, brother. I want you to get your paper. So everyone will get 750,000. Yeah, that's a good little start. But it's over 20 years, so over 20 years. You think the U.S. can't produce 15 trillion over 20 years? Have you been to Silicon Valley? Bro, Silicon Valley alone probably can do this, man. Them boys make bread, son. Them boys, listen, when you can make 50 and $60 a freaking hour, them boys making bread. When you paying them boys like that, no, you ain't poor. Trust me. The country is in debt. Okay, the country was in debt. When we gave reparations to a whole lot of people. The country is also in debt as we're giving aid to other countries currently. So I'm just trying to do the math, not agreeing, disagreeing. I'm Native American and African American. Okay. Well. Oh no. I'm just saying. I'm just kind of explaining. I'm a little bit animated. It's kind of like the content, the type of content creator that I am. When I express points, I tend to be a little bit more animated. Because again, it's for entertainment too. How you doing, Little Bones? Little Bones, how you doing? How you doing? All love, all love. How are you? How are you? We're having a brief discussion about reparations. And so $750,000 is enough. That's only 37,000 a year. That's still fine though. That's still fine. I know a lot of people in the hood who would take that, man. I came from the hood. Almost banned on my main. Oh, I'm so wow. God, man, why are people like this? That's so unfortunate. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, that's awful. I'm 35% European, 65% Mesoamerican. Didn't know to DNA test. I'm Mexican American. That makes no economical sense though. It does. It does. Uh, Charles J says we need to stop handing out our money to other countries and start worrying about our people. Absolutely, absolutely. We shoot. He says I'm too spicy. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. That's really unfortunate, man. I think that we should be able to have discussions without people doing stuff like that, man. Let's have a discussion. That's what I'm saying. I'm not insulting anybody. I'm not being extra harsh right now. I'm just having the conversation. People always say, let's have a conversation. Well, all the things that people are throwing out, right? I'm defeating. I'm giving you facts. I'm comparing it to what other people got. What we talking about? We're talking about reparations and why Foundation of Black Americans deserve reparations. Now, the reason why I say this is because there was damage done. And when there's damage done, that damage needs to be fixed and rectified. We do it with every other group, and therefore we need to do it with Foundation of Black Americans. 750,000 makes changes when people come together. Absolutely. Why do people not just help the people close to them? Everything I've had to deep myself. Yeah, but you also had generational help with that. Okay, you can try to claim that you didn't, but you had generational help with that. And if you don't feel that you did, then you're probably not foundational Black American. Just saying. Y'all need reparations and the addition to this population. Absolutely. What's the requirement for reparations? Okay, so the requirement is that you got to be a foundational Black American. A foundational Black American is somebody who is a direct descendant of slavery who is Black. Okay. See, if you did ADOS or American descendant of slavery, that could be a white person. But when you say foundational Black American, well, that makes one of the prerequisites to be Black, like actually Black. Like I don't mean like you know I'm Larry Bird, but I can dance. I mean actually Black. I had a single mother on food stamps and working two jobs. Where's the generational wealth there? I don't know. Go find out. It's completely irrelevant to my argument though. So you went through something and therefore that invalidates my argument? No, doesn't. So African immigrants can't claim then? Well, they were never intended in the first place. 40 acres and a mule refers to us. It's been widely accepted. That's kind of was the case from the beginning. 15 trillion is roughly 4 times the total of all taxes collected. Okay, but over 20 years, and I've already did the math on it. No, you could do it. Don't tell me that it can't be done. Not when I've already done the math for you. Half generation roughly will keep passing down. I feel you. I didn't get generational help at all. Okay. Well, listen. I want some of the comments, some of the conversations to be actually constructive, right? This is why I'm trying to be nice about it, right? Right. But if you're going to have bad faith arguments, then I can't talk to you. So let's try to make the conversation sensible. Let's not go to insults. Let's not go to silly stuff. Let's just have a nice, civil conversation. Okay? Still doesn't make much sense. It makes perfect sense. Kate Sharp says you brought up generational wealth. Was arguing. I was arguing your point. Generational wealth means nothing. What's up, brother? What's going on, Lower Knife? Ward King, Saint Stereo. A Saint. What's going on, Saint? A work hard, earn it. All right, man. All right. See, how you doing, Saint?
Troll's
Man,
going at you hard.
I'm trying to have a nice conversation, and people just having bad faith arguments.
Or they're just not arguing at all. Like, unfortunately.
That's unfortunate.
They took down my account, my main account. My main account's gone now.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the second one in a month. I don't know. They're coming at me hard.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's all
man.
good though.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Hey man, I gotta roll.
I'll get back probably.
I gotta roll, man, because I'm gonna go ahead and roll. I'm gonna limit some of my live streaming because that's where a lot of this people are getting hit. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I love you, brother.
You take care.
Be safe. You too.
Love you too. Take care.
All right, guys.